Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and yes, it is the weekend. It's Friday night. It's time to sit back, open up a favourite can of away day beers, and settle in, because Talking Town are here to wade through the Cookie press conference, grab the best quotes, and deliver them to you, while also putting the Talking Town a banter spin on it. And I'll grab the thoughts of the two contributors you saw on the intro. Before I do so, you can, of course, support this show through Ko-Fi or through our YouTube Super Chat. All Super Chats, within reason, are read out on the screen. Even if someone's talking, I will cut across to say thank you, because that is what it truly means to us. The chat is getting busy. We'd love to see a busy chat. Got Jason Clayton in the room, who also says Lolly is giving Dazelle a masterclass in midfield. EJ in the room. Emerson, Lee Anderson, good evening. Some of you have come across from our Talking Cricket. If you're a cricket fan, it is on the platform, so you can find it. Just search Talking Cricket, T20 Australia, or go in through the YouTube channel. And if you're new to us, hit subscribe. Lee Brown, Sean Rickett, Bod the Nod, love the name, Bod the Nod. Evening, fellow Blues. I'm confident about tomorrow. We've shown a bit more backbone lately. Emerson, what are conditions like down south? We've got a correspondent down south. Hopefully he'll pop it in the chat what the conditions are like. So this evening's show, we've got the Prediction League as we head into the last weekend before we give away Football Manager 2022, which, by the way, for those that wish to know, on an offline save, I'm this close to winning promotion. I'm 2 games away. I am a point pretty at the top of the table. Shall we do it? If you've been enjoying my online save, let me know, and you may have a couple of FM streams tomorrow to look forward to, as well as the matchday ticket. We've got a FIFA 22 giveaway. We've got Steve on the show, as well as this beauty. Cruncher, there he is. Chris
Double
Boyd.
time.
Yes, bubble. Chris Boyd, talking of it was great. Top job, Gov Cruncher. On with the football. There you go. You've got one fan at least. Thank you very much. Let's start with the breaking news, though. As we came on the air, well, not breaking, but the bookies have slashed the odds on John Terry.
Well, I thought there was bigger breaking news than that. Tell everybody who is now following the Talking Town account on Twitter.
Well, this is it. Now following us on Twitter is the man, the myth, the leader of men, Sam Morsey.
Get it!
Yes, so if he's following us and you're not, have a word with yourself, a strict word with yourself, and get on it. Make sure you're following us. But yeah, so that's bigger news. You're right. Big celebratory news. But also John Terry, odds being slashed. What do you think of that if that was to happen?
Well, obviously, look, he was at Villa, weren't he, with
Smith. Yep.
Yeah, he was there, and obviously now he wants to go on his own. Is what they need, Martin, when they're in a relegation scrap? A manager who, look, they talked about Gerrard, and I thought even him, would be a bit of a risk. I know he's doing really well at Rangers. But to have a rookie That's a big risk. Look, you got people like Eddie Howe out there, Chris Wilder, someone who they know the league, and I'm not saying, look, they're not going to be long term because we know like 2 or 3 managers down the line will probably when they're going to be splashing the money.
Yep.
They said in January, I think they're going to spend 50 million. What does 50 million get you nowadays, Martin?
Well, not a lot when everyone knows you've got 50 million.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Chris Boyd, club captain, kudos guy, says it all. Absolutely. Callie, I heard several first timers watch and like the show. Oh, it gets better. Look at that. Saucy. I like a bit of that, Cal. Oh, lovely. Jason Clayton, no experience. Don't think the fans would be happy. Yeah, I wouldn't be happy. Would you if it was Town?
They're a funny breed. Look, the Geordies, great fans, but are they ever happy? Because look, Steve Bruce this season didn't do very well. But if you put his record up against Rafa Benitez, I think it was literally the same amount of games. I think Steve Bruce had got 1 more point. But the Geordies weren't having him at all. Yet they think Rafa's some kind of god. So
they do. Well, maybe you could play FIFA 2022 and put John Terry in charge because you are in the draw, Cruncher, for FIFA 2022. I will shuffle the pack. There we go. They've been shuffled.
Hang on. Ann Summers. What's that all about?
Ann Summers. Cheeky. You got to love a bit of Ann Summers. You got to love a bit of Ann Summers, didn't you? Right. Cheeky, saucy.
Is this happening now? Is this happening now?
Yeah, it's happening now.
Live?
I'm not responsible for the adverts. All right. I mean, like, you can't be blaming me for what adverts they show me. But here we go. Let's hit the button. Let's play it. He doesn't have a bit of Ann Summers. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... Right. The winner is of FIFA 2022. Oh, but no. Bam. No, it's going to be Matthew. Matthew at Hud Bud. You have won.
I'll tell you what. I was 1 more away.
You were. I thought Mark Dan was going to win it. I will do the necessary checks to make sure you're following and subscribing on everything you need to be doing. Oh, sorry, I've taken the wrong one out. There he is. But yeah, so Matthew, well done. Congratulations. On that note, while I defluster, let's go ahead and bring in the aficionado. Apparently, right,
Evening.
Jason says they show if you've been on the site, just saying, look, it's my birthday next month. That's all I'm going to say on the situation.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm partial to a bit of red. You know, and I've recently been measured. Right. So, Steve, welcome in, my man. How you doing?
Hello. I'm very well. Yourselves?
I'm very well. As I said to you when I lined you up for this show, it's a fun time show. We have banter, as you can see. We pour ourselves a nice drink. Mine will be stiff in a minute. No pun intended. And fuck, it's all going wrong. This one, isn't it?
So long.
That stat is so misleading. Crunch, says Joe D.
What's that?
I don't know.
What stat is that, Joe? Don't know. He'll come back in the chat, hopefully.
Hopefully he will. Leanson, Georgia's not great fans, low attendees when they're shite prior to Keegan's arrival. And Harry, thanks for liking my matchday graphic post on Twitter the other day. And yeah, stiff, but easily. Right, here we go. Let's get into it. So, for those that aren't aware of what we do, we go through the press conference. We give our opinion on it. We'll start off with you, Crunch, because yesterday the Youth Cup win, 7-1, quite convincing. Paul Cook had this to say: I think we've got a great proud history through our youth setup and our academy, our history in the Youth Cup. None more so than last season when they had a fantastic run, and I was lucky enough to watch the Sheffield United game, which I felt was probably one of the best games I've watched in a long time. My question to you: our academy has underperformed for many, many years. What are your thoughts on how we get more players making the step forward, and on what Cook has said there regarding the academy? Because it's got to happen, right?
That was probably the best result we had last season while he was in charge, wasn't it?
Yes.
I see his boy came on, didn't he, last night?
Yes,
came
he
on
did last 10 minutes.
Minutes. I don't know, Martin. You know my thoughts on the academy. I don't know who we've got in the second round. I don't think the draw's been made, but it's a massive step to play. Look at Liam Gibbs. He was a star, wasn't he, last season? Gone to Norwich. Where is he? Nowhere. These lads. Will there be any players in that under-18s game last night who come through and make it the step up to the first team? I very much doubt it. Especially with the takeover we've had now.
But how do we get
something real special to break in? I think.
How do we get to that point? The pathway to the first team's not there, is it? Let's be honest. It's not there at this point. Is it ever going to be there now with the ownership and the investment, etc.?
Like I said last night when I came on briefly, even now, if we have anyone's a real special talent, they get pinched off us anyway. Don't they really? The longer we're in this division, you're going to struggle. But there does have to be a pathway, I suppose, doesn't there?
Yeah.
But it was all too easy under the former regime. Like Cookie touched on, them players who were playing they were playing ahead of where they should have been. Now you've really got to earn your stripes to make that step through. And look, if one or two do, maybe they will. But look, as Callie said, Liam Gibbs, he'll end up at Colchester or Cambridge in a few years. Okay. Look at Dobra. He's come through our youth team. He's gone on loan at Colchester, and he can't get a game there. So.
Well, that's the thing. And Steve, is it the loan system we've got to really sort of utilise better? Like previously, we've got players out on loan at Chelmsford. No disrespect to Chelmsford. Now at least we've got Simpson at Swindon, Dobra at Colchester. Is it the loan method, as Carl Brooks kind of says? I think the players showing the most promise should be loaned down, get first team football, and then put us in the window. Is that how we're going to bring these players into the first team picture?
Yeah, I think so. We've never really been in this sort of situation before with this amount of money at our disposal. So, yeah, realistically, are you going to promote someone who's had a couple of good seasons in your under-18s, under-23s, or are you going to go and get someone stronger from the Championship who's proven? It's a pretty easy route. So, yeah, you've got like Ndaba out on loan, Dobra as well, Simpson, and they're decent players. They're three decent players, but realistically, it's good.
Simpson Spider, Tyrese needs a terrain. He sells spiders, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, that sort of gave it away. Yeah,
he's got very, very sly ways of selling these spiders.
That's right. Look, Steve, if you see Simon Harris's comment there about the under-23 league, that is pretty much he's nailed it there. But
it's a different world.
You said on here before, Steve, these players go out on loan. They have to have the right club to go out on loan. Look, Simpson's playing for Swindon, not Simpson Spiders. Corey Ndaba's playing for Swindon. No, Salford. But we did say about Dobra when he went to Colchester. That's not worked out for him, and it's not doing him any good. He's not progressing at all, is he? Sitting on their bench and not getting any football.
No. There are three players out on loan. They're all in League Two, aren't they? I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do feel bad for Dobra because there's been a lot of good words said about him, and he's a decent young player, and he could be either getting on our bench or starting in cup competitions for us. And he's just sitting on the bench for Colchester week in, week out. I think he has got a goal for them in a cup, didn't he? But
yeah, he scored against West Ham. But do we overhype our youngsters, Martin?
We probably do. But there we go. All right, that's a good.
It's easy to do, though, isn't it? You want to put that faith in them. You want to put that belief in them. If they've come through the youth academy, you want to believe they're all going to be brilliant. So you do.
I don't think now we have to rely on it so much with the backing that we've got. Look at the squad we've got, Martin, and then there's not a youngster. Look at Luke Wolfenden. Where is he at the minute?
Well, this is it. On my FM team, he's my captain. He's bloody brilliant. Anyway,
look,
right.
Lee Brown says, Louis Barry, there is a prime instance of a loan player being loaned out, coming with a lot of hype.
I sent him back.
He made He'll be going back in January.
Well. Yeah, and he should do. He's not getting the game time here. But neither is Dobra at Colchester. Carl Brooks, I hope we recall Dobra in Jan, potentially keep him here at Villa. I think it's though, Carl, if he's not playing for Colchester, is he going to get ahead of Edwards, Selena?
Real good doc. I sent you that, didn't I, mind? The bit on Louis Barry that was on the BBC, one of the shows, wasn't it? About when he was at Barcelona. He's come through. And obviously, look, Villa want to loan him out to the right club and get him experience, but it's just not worked out. I'm not saying he's not a talented player, because obviously he is, but It's just it's a shame for him.
Where it goes. When we mentioned Morsey at the top of the show, obviously now following the Talking Town account, Steve, I want to talk to you about leadership because he spoke today to the club website and said this: I'm incredibly proud and I don't take these things lightly. I've been privileged enough to captain teams in the past and it's brilliant. I want to be the best possible captain for the club and I'll be giving my absolute all to try and help us be successful this season. As I say, I've been captain before and you hope to develop from one club to the next as you gain experience. The fundamentals are always the same, though in terms of having a winning mentality and leading by example. Question to yourself is, Steve, just how impressed are you with Morsey's ability and his leadership? Has it surprised you? You know, is he a better leader and player than perhaps you even imagined we were signing him when we did?
I don't think I'm surprised by it. Really impressed. I mean, he's amazing. I've not seen too much of him, admittedly, before joining Town. But obviously, I've seen bits and pieces and heard things, and he's not disappointed at all. And it's great to have someone with that leadership and that sort of passion that you can see on and off the pitch. I mean, I know we had Chambers, who obviously was very passionate and he loved the club, but performances, a little bit hit and miss, mostly miss. But with Morsey, he's delivering those performances as well. And it's great to see someone who is so professional on and off the pitch. And it is brilliant.
Is he? Yeah. Simon Harris there says, has he got 4 bookings, Morsey?
Well, you said the other night, didn't you, that he was on the edge?
I knew he got 3, but I don't think he'd missed the Wickham game because I think it'd be the following Saturday if he misses a game. Wouldn't it be? I think they could play it a bit cute here, Martin. Maybe he could miss the FA Cup game.
Yeah,
not saying that.
Isn't this leadership though, where in the sense of unless you've really got to, it's a goal-saving tackle or whatever. You're on that line, but you've got to manage that line and be sensible and not get yourself suspended. That's a part of the leadership, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think nowadays you don't have to do a lot, Martin, to get a yellow card. Just have to sneeze on the football pitch. We all know it's not what he used to be. I just think, he looks a good captain, but I think we've got leaders all over the pitch now, Martin. Where last season we were crying out, weren't we? Look, I think Edmondson at the back. Look at him. He's not shy coming forward. Look at Cambridge when he gave Alagi a mouthful.
It's true.
You've got Evans in there with Morsey in the middle, even Macaulay Bonne up the front. All of them. But I would say, whereas last season we had a lot of youngsters where we said they were probably playing when they should have done, we've got real men playing now, Martin, for us, who like him, Morsey, you've got Chapman who's dropped down a division. All these players, they know what they're doing. They've been brought in to do a job and hopefully they'll get it done.
Okay, yeah. Talking to men and leaders. Jason Clayton Crunch. Did anyone see Toto and Cole talking to the Junior Blues? Great show, and I feel a club down in good hands. Real good, feel good. Craig at Portsmouth, the Morsey band incoming soon. Emerson, simple, straightforward footballer, gives and goes, and once again, Dave, jury is still out on Morsey for me. Still waiting to see the leadership on the pitch and to see him really boss a game.
I don't know what you've been watching, Dave, because he bossed the second half against Fleetwood. He bossed the game.
It's all about opinions. All about opinions. I'm with Dave. If you're against him, I'm with him. Carl Brooks. Edmondson looks like a leader as well. Lee Morsey, biggest influence is he demands the ball as a centre back. This gives us another dimension. Bod, Aluko too, experienced head, and Chris Boyd. Morsey was on a red card when we signed him. More card trouble this quickly, not a good sign. Talking of sneezing on pitches, this man did a lot more than sneeze on a pitch last weekend. He was literally nearly on the pitch. Steve, Paul Cook had this to say. What a good guy. What a good fella when talking about Brett Johnson. So passionate, so enthusiastic about the club, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve, to embrace the game like he did, Brett Johnson, on the Saturday, to carry the message back to the States for all the other owners was absolutely amazing. Like a perfect weekend. Hopefully, there'll be plenty more of them. Hopefully enjoy the experience of not just the match day feel, but the preparation, the club itself, the town, the community, the empty Debenhams store. He didn't say that, I did. And most importantly, the atmosphere at the end of the game when we'd won. It was very special. So, Steve, you're a young fan. We've heard from Colin. We've heard from me. We've heard from Rich. What does it mean to you, a fan that's only really ever known Marcus Evans as owner, where scenes like that never happened from my memory? What does it mean to you to see your owner doing that?
I mean, just quickly, the best thing about that photo is Peter Reid's face.
Well, yes,
it's absolute classic.
That is a stealer. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's Acker. He's Acker without the window, Steve. You have one more.
Shit. But I grew up. I started following Town probably in the late '90s, so I can just remember the promotion. The playoff and that promotion, and then that incredible season in the Premier League, followed by relegation, and then just stagnation for years, with no real passion. You never saw Evans do that. You never saw him in those boxes. He was always sort of in his own executive box. So to see him sort of down there in the mix, it's surreal as I want to say a younger Town fan, youngish Town fan.
Well,
it's surreal to see. I'm 28,
On the platform, you're one of the youngest Town fans, You are. That's why I would ask you, because you've got the opinion of the older statesman, but it must be exciting now and a bit exhilarating to finally see the club have that passion.
It is, because for so many years, obviously under Evans, once that sort of the initial excitement wore off and it became apparent that we weren't actually going to get anywhere, apart from the 2014-2015 season, it was just dull. And you started every season thinking, oh, Jesus, I hope we just make a top 10 or something, And I remember 2017-2018, we won those first 4 games. And I thought maybe we can actually kick on from this, and then that just faltered as well. Yeah. So it's nice to actually look forward to Town games again, and you get this reception from the owner, and it's just so surreal because I'm just not used to seeing it. We've actually got an owner that genuinely cares and shows that passion, and he wants to go and bring the others over with him and to share this experience, which is amazing. It's brilliant.
And Cookie there, Rich, mentioned the town, the stadium, the club, the supporters, and I remember one of the first conversations I had with an owner was about how great of an area this is. And it is a footballing area, isn't it? With tradition and heritage and people that, when the club is good, go mad for it and can't get enough of it, isn't it, Rich?
It's been sleeping for too long, though. Like Steve said, the initial excitement. Look, I was at Norwich. I think you were at Norwich that time when Evans took over, and we were all excited. But how long did that last for? We were treading water, weren't we, for seasons, and then we went down. But it's like the sleeping giant's been awoken, Martin, at the minute. It's all waiting to happen, isn't it? I know we have to go on the pitch. We have to get the results to get out of this league. But you can feel the excitement when you go to games now. The last few seasons, when we had a season ticket, you were only going because you sort of felt that you had to go. You've got your season ticket. Oh, we've got to go to football on Saturday. Look, you do enjoy going. You see your mates, whatever. But now you go in and you've got proper hope, haven't we? Mm. We go in there. We're expecting. Well, I think we're expecting to do well. And I know it doesn't always happen like that. But like we've touched on before, I think in the end, we will get to where we want to go. It's just... I
believe that we will win.
Yeah, but it's like we're on a roller coaster at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a few ups and downs, and I think we know that. But I think at the end, you're going to get off that roller coaster thinking, "Fuck me, what a ride that was."
You're going to get off like that.
Oh yeah,
that's how you're going to get off it, mate.
The good thing with it now is as well, I'm expecting to score goals. That's the great thing. Like when a game is underway, we're going to score, and I can't remember the last time I felt so confident in Town's ability to score goals. It's been so long. I think, we'd be lucky to get 1, maybe 2 if we're lucky. And now it feels like we're going to at least score 2 almost. So 2's a minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, exactly. Yeah, we're free flowing. Talking
it's right what Lee Anderson says there. The tide in East Anglia is starting to turn. And it is. Because football, it goes in cycles, Martin. And them lot up the road have had the wood over us for a lot of years, But the day is coming when we will be having our time over them. And mark my words, it is coming soon.
Before I move on to the next one, obviously Brett Johnson quote tweeted our tweet earlier in the week, gave us nearly 15,000 views on that clip crunch. That's not a bad start to the week, was it?
Lemons going all over the place, weren't they?
But I don't know. I've not seen them.
I've
not been looking. I've been too busy. Dave, we're being entertained now. It's a big difference. Sarah, we are finally welcome in, Sarah. We are finally managers, owners and a manager that cares and players not scared to get stuck in. Liam, it's got to the point where every game I think we can't get beat. Rob, Norris still haven't won anything though. Colin, Plymouth fans and employees of PAFC think tomorrow's game is massive. If they had told me that's like the Champions League final for them, honestly, guys. Well, this is it. And you both said it. We've got a lot of hope now. But a club that hasn't got a lot of hope, so why I've sort of slipped this one in here, is Colchester United. Robbie Cowling defends summer recruitment. I couldn't resist putting this one in there today because
he's not put another statement out.
Well,
is that the statement I read yesterday?
I don't know, but I read it on BBC Sport and I was like, I've got to put this into tonight's show. So here we go, Richard, just for you. Cowling said, we've put more money into a smaller number of what we feel are quality players. We're going to have to mix our kids in around them. It's probably going to make the season a little bit erratic at times. The headline read, Cowling defends summer recruitment. So I'm going to ask you, were you surprised that Colchester recruited not one, but 4 of our underachievers? And what do you make of Robbie and more statements than Win Cowling saying there about?
I wasn't surprised they went there.
But 4?
Well, I suppose Hayden Mullins.
It's logical for them.
Yeah, he wanted to get a bit of experience in that squad because they really struggled last season, but it's not really working out. And I read his, I was reading some of the comments through after the statement, Martin, on Twitter from their fans, and it was just fucking hilarious. He basically said that they were singing a few abusive chants about him, but he was coming along to them. But basically, you can't abuse me because if you do, I'm going to ban you.
This is it. But this was the headline that grabbed me. Robbie Cowling, chairman defends summer recruitment. Just, what do you make it?
Then it shows, doesn't it, that these players that we had last season who failed us, they're doing exactly the same in a lower division.
I mean, as much as I liked Kolski's years gone by, do you really want your young players learning from Kolski's? Well, of all the players there are around there, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was quite a fan of him, going back a few years, but when it became apparent that he didn't really have much of a game.
Stick that on a fucking t-shirt. Do you want your young players learning from Kolski's?
I know.
Really?
They should teach that. They should teach that.
That's a classic line. I like that. Josh Russell, quality players, not sure about that.
They're getting rolled over. Sutton United went down there the other night and rolled them over.
Absolutely.
They were in the National League last season.
Exactly. Yeah, they're facing a prospect of that again. And I just, I've taken one of them, like Sears maybe has been the better performer, but 4 of them, all 4 of them, like Judge underperformed, Sears underperformed, so does Chambers and so does Skew. So it's like, is that wise, really? Or is that lazy recruitment?
I saw a great comment from a Colchester fan. Someone asked him how Chambers had been this season. And he said he defends like the ball as a grenade. I thought it was brilliant. Love that. I saw that somewhere on Twitter. Fantastic.
Taking that to the prediction league, week 13 is in play. Plymouth versus Ipswich. Talking of Colchester, Steve, what's the score going to be against Scunthorpe?
Oh God, a Scunthorpe bottom.
They've been struggling. I know that.
They are struggling. The bottom, aren't they? I'll tell you the league table. Hang on, Scunthorpe are bottom. They've won twice all year.
Okay, 2-0 Scunthorpe.
If they win, they could go equal points.
Where are you? Where are you, Ryan?
19th on 14.
19th?
I'll say 2-0 Scunthorpe.
Okay. Cambridge versus AFC Wimbledon and Boreham Wood versus Southend. Crunch, Cambridge, Wimbledon. What are you thinking? What are you saying?
Well, they've hit the buffers, haven't they, Cambridge, after a good start. They've got quite a few. I only got whacked in the last Saturday at Shrewsbury. A lot of draws. I might go 1-1 for that game.
Ooh, 1-0. Okay, there we go. Week 13's in play. Make sure you get them in because those that are inside the top 10, that is Robert Grimsey up, will be included in the FM22 giveaway. Robert and Duncan were not in the top 10 until the bonus weekend just gone because they took advantage. They got 6 points. They moved themselves into the top 10. So it is possible. Right, on to the press conference reaction.
So Matt Phillips could still get in the top 10?
No, he can't. Well, hang on. I suppose he could actually, couldn't he?
He could if he got all 4.
Yeah, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, he could do. All 4 right. He's in the top 10. He
was actually everybody. He was actually trying to tell us that he got off the mark the other night in the long. I think it was a long Melford game, but Martin says no.
No, he said a Cambridge game. He said he put 1-1 Cambridge.
What did he put?
He put 2-1. He did put 1-1, but for the wrong game.
Oh, yeah.
Bless his little cottons. Right, Rich. Opposition irrelevant. Cook said this: I don't look ahead too much, and I still believe the opposition is nearly irrelevant. It's about us and about our performance and what Ipswich will turn up. We're 14 games in now, and Plymouth deserve more than the utmost respect for what they're doing. Ryan is doing another outstanding job, and the team play as well as its coach. They're very disciplined and know their job. we've all been doing as podcasts, the next 5, or as people, the next 2. But how right is Cookie here? Do you agree the next game, is that the most important thing to focus on? The next game and the next 4 are irrelevant. And can he coach like that on the sidelines tomorrow afternoon? Or will he?
The next game's the biggest game.
Or will he have Wickham creeping into the back of his mind?
Depends how the game goes, isn't it? If we're winning 3-0 with 20 minutes to go, you could probably take some players off. But if it's 1-1 and it's tight, look, you just got to focus on tomorrow's game. Mate. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. I know as fans we can look, can't we? I think the next 5 games we're playing all teams who are in the top 6, which is exciting. Some people say, it's a bit daunting. Some people say we'll know where we are after them games. But I just think tomorrow, let's just look at the Plymouth game. We have to go 1 by 1. Don't get too far ahead. If we go to Plymouth tomorrow and win, then we look ahead to Wickham. It's just how it is.
But can he coach like that? If it's 1-1, 83rd minute, is he going to be thinking, I'm going for the win here because we're on top? Or is he going to be thinking, do you know what? We've got Wickham on Tuesday night. This is a good point. I'm shutting up. Can he coach the way he's just spoken that? Do you think he can do that? Is that possible?
I think when you're in that game mode, 1-1 with 10 minutes to go, we're going to go all out for a win, aren't we? I would have thought, because he said he's not going to shut up shop, didn't he?
Well, he did say that, and then he brought on Cameron Burgess, Steve, in the 90th minute last weekend. So, what do you think when you hear Cookie speak like that?
I think for that sort of thing, I mean, fair play to Plymouth. No one saw them with this start of the league. That's brilliant from them. I think he'll focus on. You've got to focus on the next game. Your next game is always your biggest game. Whatever happened to the last game, it's too late. It's happened. I think he'll focus on Plymouth. He's got to throw everything at Plymouth, and then get through that. Throw everything at Wickham. I think he speaks a lot of sense, but I think he'll just all focus on tomorrow.
Ben Moore, I fucking hope he can. He had to have learned from his mistakes like Cambridge. Jason, he doesn't park the bus. Absolutely doesn't. All right, Steve, on to my article this week. Links in the chat. I said, or I wrote rather, Saturday's win is exactly the type of result that champions or certainly contenders build a season from. Obviously, last weekend we fought back because Fleetwood scored a goal in the 81st minute. Does that give you new confidence about this side? And do you feel I'm right when I write that's the sort of performance that contenders, forget champions, that contenders build a season on?
Yeah, I do. Because in previous years, if we'd have conceded a goal in the 81st minute, we would have shut down. Heads would have dropped, and chances are it would have finished as a 1-1, or they would have got another goal, and we would have ended up going with no points. So it was great to see, for a start, not to change tactics, not to make any other sort of changes, that sort of drastic changes. Stick with what you've got, keep plugging away. It paid off, and it's great to see that it shows a different mentality to what we've got this year compared to what we've had in previous years. That hunger seems to still be there. Don't let your heads drop. Keep pushing, because you never know. I was at the game a couple of years ago. I think it was against Wimbledon. We were 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go, and we left 2-1. We won that one. And there was Norwood and Jackson. That's it, yeah. And Cole Skews just hoofed the ball into the box, and Jackson got it. And it sort of reminds me of that, because it was that sort of don't give up, sort of just keep pushing, because you never know. And that was a lovely ball from Danasian.
Yeah. And obviously Norwich, I hate to say their name, but when they won promotion back to the Championship, they built a campaign on scoring last-minute winners. Back-to-back years they did that, Rich. And obviously you said something similar last weekend about contenders build seasons off that. And so I think you'd agree with it. But the 81st minute we conceded. Normally, early part of the year, that would have seen us capitulate.
That's what I was going to say. If you'd have gone back to them early games in the season, it probably would have ended 1-1, wouldn't it? That game. But that does show that there has been some improvement there, because we let that goal in and we were disappointed. But what I liked, and I said on Sunday, sometimes it is too easy when you're desperate for a goal and the crowd are getting onto you, get that ball forward quick, lump it forward. But we didn't. We kept playing our football. And Martin, that was what a goal to score at that time of the game.
Yeah.
If you score that after 20 minutes, we'd all be purring about it. But to do that in the 93rd minute, and I know if you're Simon Grayson, you're probably disappointed because your players are probably switched off. Your fullback, the diagonal ball is switched off, and even the one where the Nashins played it into Selena. They've just switched off, but we haven't. We've kept going, and we've got them 2 points that, like I say, football, it's such a game of fine margins, Martin, you know. 2 points dropped there at home. We'd have all been going to Plymouth tomorrow thinking, oh, shit. You know, we had another game there last Saturday that we should have won. But we've got them 2 points and the confidence should be up tomorrow. I know it's a tough place to go and they've not lost at home all season, but surely they will be looking at us thinking, this lot are a good side. They've scored in every single game, you know. Absolutely. So we shouldn't be going there fearing anything tomorrow and people saying, oh, yeah, I'll take a point if we go to Plymouth tomorrow. Why? Let's go there and get the 3. That's the wrong mentality, you know, thinking, oh, we'll take a point here and there. No, let's go there. Let's nail our colours to the mast and let's take the 3 points and let's give them a bloody nose, you know. Give them a bloody nose.
Absolutely. Facebook user, big game tomorrow. Time to stamp our authority on the league. 100%. Joe D, we'll be more than happy with 4 points from next 2. Lee, wife had missed the last 3 games, but she said the team looked much better. Neil, should be a good open game tomorrow. Ryan, who was in Plymouth already, said the weather's looking good earlier part of the show. Will we get 2 early goals and see the game out tomorrow? Lee is looking forward to Talking Town Sunday, listening and watching Scum get battered everywhere they go. Hawks, 3 points tomorrow. Let's upset a full house. They're only there to see the town.
Hawks is there.
They're only there to see the town. Ben Moore. It'll be an open game like Tuesday. Let's concentrate and get them with a fast start first 20. Carl, we have shown unbelievable character in the last 2 games. We're 10 times better without the ball as well. Callie asked,
that is a real good point there from Carl.
Yeah,
we are a lot better now without the ball because early season we were way too flaky.
We were, yeah, we really were, yeah. Callie, it's roll call time. Who's down there? Let us know in the chat. Who is already down there? The good doctor, fantastic goal was listed TK in TK Maxx. Reckon the other customers thought I'd found the best trousers. Kerry, they've got to lose at home sometime.
Exactly.
Talking of which, obviously this weekend is a big doubleheader. Rich and Cook said, "Listen, I think it's great, isn't it? Our women's team is taking a lot of plaudits at the minute, and rightly so. I think Joe is doing a fantastic job there with all his staff, and it's great to see. The women's game is growing nationally, globally, right through, and it's grateful the young girls through schools now. My own daughter, who is 8, comes home and she says she's a striker now. So it's good for everyone to see. And I think for both clubs tomorrow, it'll be a really good day, a big game." And it's a game we're looking forward to. This weekend's huge. You've got the Mariner celebrations. We've got the Mariner Tribute Night on Sunday night. But the 2 games, tomorrow is the men's, Sunday morning the women's. Just how big is it, Rich? And we've often spoken about the women playing at Portman Road, etc. Is it good that you get these double headers? And do you think more needs to be made of this? This is the future in terms of either making Saturday football day where both games are on and you go down to the stadium, or it's a weekend event. But is this the future of both games where you bring them together for a celebration of sport?
Yeah, I think that's the way we're heading. I'd like to see them played on the same day, but I know there'll be people travelling down tomorrow. And you might not be able. Would you play? Probably played a women's game before. Would you, Martin, if you're going to go that way?
Either one or the other. Or you could rotate it, whatever. But is it? I think it's the way forward. You know, making it a big celebration of football. Your football club, the same colours, the same banners. This is our football club, and we're going to celebrate both equally and important. That's how I see it. Do you know what I mean?
Hop says he'd love the lunchtime women's kickoff. You know, that'd have been spot on. You know, get to the ground early, meet your mates. 2 games for the price of 1. You know, it would be fantastic. It's great that the women are down there. They're all going to be at the game tomorrow. Let's hope that we can have 2 town wins. That'd be great, wouldn't it? You know, last week it was 2 last-minute winners. So hopefully this week they can both get a victory. Obviously, they're flying, aren't they? Top of the league at the minute, not lost the game. And I'd expect them to beat Plymouth Women's as well, the way that we're playing. But yeah, it's all headed in the right direction. Look, next season will be the time at Portman Road where when we get that new pitch, there'll be some women's games down there, and it'll be interesting to see. They're quite well supported up at Felixstowe, but it would be interesting to see, Martin, if they play down at Portman Road. You'd get a lot more people coming, I think.
Yeah, well, I think so. We've got Ian Houston in Plymouth already. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Ian. Ryan, Ipswich conquered the city of Plymouth. Dr. Zach King, I think a win. Really looking forward to it. I've done a double-header with the women too. Hope so soon in the future. Bod the nod. All these top 6 sides we're playing on the run. None of them we're looking forward to playing us. They know we're capable of knocking in 3 goals. And Rob says from the BBC website tonight, Andre Dezelle gets a booking for a late challenge on Jack Colback. Can't say the Rangers midfielder has done much else tonight. And Chris, they do it with the cricket and the Six Nations rugby, double headers, more exposure. Yeah. Exactly, exposure. That's the word. You want to get a lot more eyeballs on both products. Obviously, Cookie there, Steve, said about his 8-year-old daughter wanting to be a striker, which gets me thinking: what position did we all want to play when we were 8? Because I think we've all been there as an 8-year-old, where you come home and you're in the playground knocking it about, and you think, right, I am now. Boom. What position did you want to be when you were 8? I'll ask you in a minute, Rich.
I think when I was 8, I always wanted to be a striker, because I always wanted to be the guy knocking stuff in, but I couldn't shoot for shit. So I usually found myself sort of around a sort of a CDM sort of role.
Aaron Drinning can't shoot for shit, and he made a career out of being a striker, so I wouldn't worry too much. There might still be a chance.
There's still time.
But you say that, Steve, obviously in the playground, the floater balls, the soft balls, the little balls that had the rattle inside, everyone the teacher allowed you to play with. Every school was different. Rich, what position did you want to be when you were 8?
So that would be 1984. Well, I started playing football when I think I was 10, Martin. And I remember back then, I played right wing. I was quite quick back in the day. But I remember, look, now it's all small-sided, isn't it? Small-sided games. As you get older, you get more people on the pitch. I was playing, I think, under 10s or under 11s, 45 minutes each way, full-size goals, full-size pitch. And you think nowadays, that's absolutely mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got a trophy. I've got 100 goals for the club I played for. Steeple Dynamos. Shout out.
Because they're full-size goals. You got the poor 10-year-old in the other end. Got no fucking chance, is he? But I'm very boring. I have been a centre-half all my life, and I've only ever wanted to be a centre-half all my life.
Well, look, Jason Clayton, Terry Butcher. I do remember him when I had the kit, the Radio Orwell one with the red stripe across.
Yeah. It was Tony Adams for me. I was always Adams in the playground, always. And when he scored that Everton goal, you asked people who used to go to school with, every time I scored in the playground, that would be my celebration. Tony Adams stepped forward.
I was gutted when Butcher left and he went to Rangers. And look, since then, I've always followed Rangers. It was probably because of his influence.
Yeah.
But I just want to look. Sad news in the week. Walter Smith dying, Martin. I've watched so many tributes from like Ali McCoist. Look, what a fantastic manager. I know a lot of people say, Scottish football's not that great, but he won 21 trophies, in 2 spells there. Fantastic manager, and I've just heard so many tributes, what a great man. And you think 73, so young as well. So sad. I
always remember him for the Everton spell. That's my era of Walter Smith, if you like. Good manager, nice bloke, full of good memories and stories are coming out about him. You're absolutely right.
Coached at Man United as well. I see a story about when Ronaldo was there when he was young. He was coaching them in training, and they were playing a game where there was no fouls. And Ronaldo, obviously, he was a young player, was holding onto the ball and kept getting kicked. But then the penny dropped in his head that I have to pass the ball and move it quicker, because I'm getting kicked. And they said he was quite a big influence on Ronaldo when he was starting out at Man U.
I've read that same story. And you're fascinated when you find those sort of hidden nuggets, hidden gems and whatnot. But do you remember Everton being up for sale for £1 in the 90s when they had so much debt at one point? Do you remember that? Me and my mates at school would sit around at lunchtime planning buying Everton for £1 and how we were going to run them. And we always had Walter Smith as manager. We never had anybody else in line. Just great moments thinking about how we're going to sell Alexander Pistone to balance the books and how we were going to bring in Lee Cardsley. But Walter Smith we always thought he's a good manager, and he always got the most out of a really poor Everton side. They weren't always the top side, were they?
But then you touch on earlier when Steve, you were on about Newcastle and the amount of money they spent. Everton has spent a lot of money under Mashiri. Yeah. Where are they at the minute? Getting whacked 5-2 at home by Watford.
Well, yes, absolutely. Right, on to tomorrow. Yes, it is tomorrow. Injuries to force changes. Cookie had this to say to both of you now. I think for every team, I've spoken to Wigan boss and his former, I've spoken to Wigan boss Liam Richardson a few times this week, and they've had 3 games this week. And I think injuries and suspensions are just starting to catch up with a few squads and come into play. I think by the time our team sheet goes out tomorrow, we're no different than a lot of teams. In fact, we've probably got a lot more injuries than everyone else. So who do we think misses out tomorrow? What's your 11? And is it the time our squad depth really starts to shine and come through, particularly with Cookie there saying other teams have got injuries as well? This is the time, surely. So Crunch, any word on the street from you?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to drop a name, but I do know one player that he's ill, didn't travel down with the squad, might have possibly gone down today in a car, depending if he was feeling better. So
who's that?
I'm not saying.
Where's Burns?
I'm not saying.
Didn't have to. I said it for you. Aluko and maybe still Coulson team won't change. Jason Clayton, he stitched up at Everton. He was stitched up at Everton. Yeah. So who's missing there? I'm gonna put a prediction out. I'm gonna put out. No, I'm not going to say Bond because I'm not going to speak that into the universe. But obviously, Pigott is there. So who misses out? What's your 11s for tomorrow then, guys? What are we talking about?
I think team-wise, largely unchanged. I think Aluko will miss out. And I don't want to tempt fate, but I'm going to say Chaplin.
Ooh, okay. If Chaplin misses out, who's coming in?
I'll start Burson, I think.
Yeah, Burson's a good shout. Rich, how about yourself?
No, I'm not in the game, Ryan, tomorrow. I've got to work. Unfortunately, I would if I wasn't. I was talking to Hops in the week about now Selena. I think tomorrow it'd probably be a game of football tomorrow. So I think he might. Lord. I think Selena might start tomorrow, Martin, because I think it'll be quite an open game. I think it might suit him. I can't see Selena starting at Wickham on Tuesday. I don't think he will. So I would start him on the left instead of Edwards. Right hand side, if Burns is fit, I would play him. But it's look, we're trying to second guess the manager here, aren't we?
Yeah.
We don't know because he doesn't give a lot away. Which is fair enough. That's up to him, isn't it? He doesn't want to sort of give Plymouth any sort of the heads up. But I don't know. But I've said this before, Martin. This is a time when our squad, before in seasons gone by, if we'd had 2 or 3 injuries, it would have real bit us hard. Where now, we've got 2 people for most positions. So if we've got a couple of injuries, so be it. And it's chances for these other lads to come in and stake their claim. And if they play well, they stay in the team,
Yeah.
That's what I quite like about our squad now. Yeah, even like last year, if someone gets injured, that's why game's gone. You've got one person for one position. Whereas now you can lose someone and think, oh, Christ, that's a cracking player gone. But we've got 2 or 3 more excellent players who can just easily step in. So it's when I see there are injury problems or it's disappointing, I'm not quite as... that's it, game over sort of thing, as it was in recent years.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the squad depth available, this is the time it should sort of come to the fore if we are struggling for players to be fit, really, isn't it? Because you've assembled the depth of the squad. So this is the time it can come into its own. As Neil says, we have more than enough quality.
I don't agree with Callie there saying Selena will start over Chaplin. If Chaplin's fit...
Hey, Callie's in the know, right? If he says it, I'd listen to it. Burns on the right. Selena starts over Chappers. Well, there you go. That ruins out my prediction about Burns, doesn't it? If Callie's saying about he's on the right. El Miz and Morsey in the middle. Jason Clayton, who'd be a good replacement for Morsey? It's the only position we're weak in. I don't know. Harper and Evans. Give it another spin, do you think, Crunch? Another spin in midfield? Harper and Evans?
He seems to prefer El Mazzoni, doesn't he, now?
Only because he knows Harper and Evans doesn't work as a 2. It didn't go well, did it? But I never like it when he says we've got, injuries because it's like, oh, no.
He did say that. I can't remember what game it was, and it was Caden Jackson who was injured, Martin. So he could be playing them. You never know. But there'll be changes. I think. Look, you've got these 2 games they're close together. I'm interested to see what are they doing. Would they be doing about travelling? Would they be going down, staying somewhere, sort of overnight? Because to drive back from Plymouth tomorrow,
they left on.
Yeah, but no, I mean for Tuesday's game. I mean for Tuesday, would they be staying in a hotel like tomorrow night and Sunday, and then going down to Wickham on the Monday? Because it seems like you go all the way back to Ipswich, and then you got to go to Wickham again. So I don't know, but yeah, they went down Thursday, didn't they?
Yeah, that remains to be seen. Anything left before we leave? Obviously, score predictions then, please, gentlemen. We are back live tomorrow.
Lee Anderson, there is a game midweek. We're playing Wickham on Tuesday. Come on, get with it.
Yeah, well, poor old Lee. Leave Lee alone. He's been busy. Josh, now Chapman will play whilst informed. I don't think Elmiz will play either. We're back tomorrow 2:30. Myself, Curtis, and Ben for the match day ticket. What's our score predictions then, please, gentlemen? Steve, what's your score?
I'm going to go 2-1 Town.
Okay, 2-1 Town. I like it. 3 points. You've got 3-0 from the King. 3-1 says Colin. 3-2 says Rob. 2-2 says David. Cruncher, what says you?
I said to Colin, he's going to be in for an absolute cracker tomorrow. Plymouth Argyle 2, Ipswich Town 3.
Oh, that would be a cracking game.
I think there'll be goals tomorrow.
Benicia doesn't see us lose, so,
Well, let's hope the run continues.
Yep, Josh says 2-1. Bob the Nod 3-1. Draw says 2. Says Lee. Fucking hell, Lee, cheer up. Lee says 2-0. Jesus, what is it about people called Lee thinking this will draw 2-2? Harry 4-2. Carl 1-0. Dr. Elmiz, I reckon, is back up for more. So should that be needed? Lots of wins in the chat. You'd love to see it. You love to see it. Right, we're done. Anything else before we leave, gentlemen?
Just a shout out to your mate, Robbie D.
Oh, you've seen? Oh, yes, he's had a baby, hasn't he?
Well, he hasn't.
Well, no, but I wasn't sure if you wanted me to spread it on the internet. But yes, shout out the Don for the birth of a new one. Big congratulations from us all at Talking Town. But don't forget, you and your new one can tune in tomorrow at 2:30 for the match day ticket. We will be there live. Catch you all tomorrow.
We're on a journey. Looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but